Alright, so now that we have our general planes laid out with our feature lines that give us our slopes for the majority of our site, we need to now bring in the curb lines and elevate those to the surface and start adding some more finer details. So to do this, we're going to start by going to the data prep tab, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to first elevate the flow lines for these curb areas. So I'm going to go to elevation, and I'm going to use the select by layer option. We'll go ahead and pick all the lines that represent the bottom of curb. So you can see it goes all around our site, up in the back. And we're going to take those and we're going to add those to the surface, or the surface elevation. We're going to actually project them up to the surface elevation. And the surface we're going to use is the finished design. So we're going to select apply to that. And now they've been elevated up, and you can see that it's even taking into account, we'll exaggerate just a little bit, it's taking into account where it crosses here and is actually elevated all the way around. So what we can then do is go to take off and build surfaces, and it's going to use those lines to build the surface. So if we select it, you can see that it's actually tying in to those areas. We do have a flag back here which we will address later, but right now we're not too concerned about it, so we won't worry about it. Now we want to do the top back of curb. What's nice about this command is I can come in here and do the same thing. I can select by layer, I can pick these guys here, and now so I'm using the top back of curb on a surface elevation, and we're going to say 0.5 for our top back. So it's going to go to the surface elevation and it's going to raise it up another half a foot. So when I select apply, now I've got the top back of curb. Okay. So now when I go to build surfaces, you're going to see a lot more flags because we do have some crossing objects, which isn't a big deal because it actually helps us figure out what we need to fix and edit. So now that we've got the surface built, if we take a look, using these top of curbs and the bottom of curbs, we don't necessarily need all of the flow lines that we, or general plane lines that we were using initially. So we're going to do some breaking, some deleting, and some editing. So the first thing we'll do is let's start with this line down here. Now we don't need this line here. It's going across our curb, which is why we're getting a flag. And what we want to do is actually break it. So I'm going to break it at this point right here, and then we'll break it at, so we'll use the same line, and we will break it at this point right there. So now if I come back and I use my delete command, I'm just going to delete this line because I don't need that line anymore. So we'll delete that. And then over here we're good. We don't need that anymore. Actually, let's undo that. We want to keep this line through here, so I shouldn't have deleted that one, but we actually, let's close this. What I want to do is delete this line here, so let's just go ahead and delete that. We'll work up here, we'll take this line, we'll break this one. Alright, so I don't need this line up to, let's say, this crossing line. So I'm going to say at crossing line, I'm going to pick this, and we'll break that. And then same thing here, is this is the line I want to break, and we're going to break at that point there. And I won't need that line along the front of the building anymore. So again, let's close this. I will delete that line that's selected. I will take this line here and delete that, and do the same thing around the rest of these buildings. So this one here, I don't need this line through here actually, so let's break this, and we will break it at crossing. I want to break it at that line right there, and we will break it this line at crossing that line right there. We'll break that, and then we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll pick that line and we can just break it there. and that should be good. So then what we will do is delete this. So delete that one. This one. We don't need this anymore, which runs around up through here. We do want it over here, so we're going to break this line at that point, and we will break it at that point. We don't need that, so we can just go ahead and delete that, and we don't need this, so we can delete that. Now when we rebuild, it should just build it to the top back of curb. We won't worry about that message for now. And we're looking pretty good. Okay, looks like we got some more edits that we gotta work with, that we will adjust here shortly. Okay, but that's basically, kind of initially what you're gonna do. We're gonna work around, we're gonna clean this up, and we'll show you that here in the next couple videos.